Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's time to take a look at Recore. Joseph here is creative director at Microsoft Studios. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Tell us about Recore. This game was announced at E3 last year.
Yeah.
Got to see a little bit more of it this year, but it's still a bit of a mystery to me. What is Recore?
Yeah, we went dark. We went dark for a little while.
A whole year, it seems like, yeah.
Well, exactly. So Recore is made by Keiji Inafune,
right?
Grandfather of Mega Man, and the guys at Armature Studio, the former leads of Metroid Prime.
Right.
So if you take a Mega Man and you take Metroid Prime, you put them together and stir them up in a delicious stew, you get Recore.
So robot bosses.
Yep. Yep.
A mix of adventure, exploration.
Exactly. So you can see right here, Jewel Adams, the main character in Recore, is fighting kind of a mini-boss in the game.
Okay.
This thing that's currently called the Master Spawner, and it's spitting out smaller robots. Robots, the Corebots, come in sort of 3 different categories. You have these guys here, which are your standard Corebots, little tiny ones called Corebites, and then mini-bosses, and then bosses as well. So, yeah, if you love fighting evil robots, exploring mysterious desert worlds with your friends, Recore's a good game.
Sign me up. So you play as a girl named Jewel, is that right?
Yep.
Tell us about her. What's her story?
So, Far Eden, where Jewel is a planet that's far away from Earth. Something terrible has happened to Earth that we're not going to spoil right now. But Jewel is a colonist, basically a technician that's gone out to this planet to get it ready for humanity to come and live there. She goes to sleep for a couple hundred years in cryosleep, expects to wake up and find Far Eden turned into a paradise, terraformed, water and trees. But when she wakes up, it's still a desert. All the robots have gone crazy. All the robots that were meant to be building it while she was asleep. And so Jewel, you get to unravel the mystery of what happened, gather together with some friendly robots, and basically take down the bad guys.
Like, how many robots are your friends? Or are you turning enemies into your friends?
Well, you can see right here, Jewel is actually pulling out the core, which is basically the personality or soul of the enemy Corebot, and she can take that unfriendly core and fuse it together with one of her friendly cores and create a stronger companion. So basically, Jewel has got Corebots are made of 2 separate parts, the core, their personality, and the frame around them. So for example, Seth there, the yellow core, is currently in the spider frame. You can take Seth, the yellow ball, and put him into a dog or into an ape frame. So you're swapping around the core personalities into different sort of animal-shaped frames, and you're also upgrading the frames as well through a crafting system.
Nice. So how many of these core personalities are there?
So currently there are 3 core personalities. You've got Mac, the blue core, and he's very cheerful and curious, adventurous. Seth, the yellow core, is a big scaredy cat. And Duncan, the red core, is a big, rough, stubborn, angry core. So their personalities really affect the different attacks that they have in the game, and generally sort of how they behave.
One of my favorite things that video games do is make numbers fly all over the screen. I love this.
Yeah, that's how you hurt people, is with numbers. So you can see here that in combat, Recore has an experience system that's part of the crafting system and Jewel's upgrades, but it also has a combo system. So as you take down different levels of health of the enemy, you're building up your combo meter, you're building up your damage meter, and taking down the toughest bosses is all about reducing them down, getting the combo meter up, juggling them in the air. It's a pretty deep game combat-wise. From the outside, you look at it and think, oh, it's kind of candy-colored and maybe simple, but it's deceptively simple. The demo that we're playing today on the show floor is just wrecking people, which is great.
Easy to pick up, difficult to master.
You might say.
One of those, you might say.
It is really true. It's really fun.
And then I think this is the trailer here that we're seeing.
Yep, absolutely.
Going back to that experience system, what is it that you're leveling up or improving?
So for Jewel, what you're really improving is your weapon. You can see that Jewel has this energy rifle.
Yeah.
Comes with different ammunition types, different fire modes, and so you're primarily upgrading that with Jewel. With the Corebots, you're upgrading their frames, base statistics, and also the cores themselves have what are called lethal attacks. And your, Mac, the blue core, will dash in with electricity. You'll gradually build up his lethal attack to be more powerful, so you can take on tougher enemies.
And then what's the
so that's the
flow
lethal right there
sure.
that Mac can do, yeah.
Like, what's the flow of this game? Is it linear, level-based? Is it an open world?
So Recore has got an overworld that's broken up into sections, basically the desert surface area of Far Eden. And as you explore the overworld, you'll find entrances to old Far-Eaten facilities that have been taken over by the corrupted robots. You'll find caves, a variety of different places that you can go into and explore. So the basic loop is here's a great shot of like the big open world. You'll explore the overworld, you'll find places, deeper places hidden underneath. To adventure, you'll find loot, you'll bring it back, upgrade your Corebots, and then go back to the overworld into more challenging places. There are definitely places that you'll go to early in the game where you'll meet bosses or enemies that are way too powerful for you, doors that you can't open, places that you can't get to without the right Corebots. So for example, you'll see I guess we already passed it, but Seth, or the spider, he's able to climb up on rails and sneak around different places. So until you get the spider frame, you won't be able to get certain places in the world, which will sound familiar if you played Mega Man, Metroid Prime sort of games.
Yeah, sure. Jewel seems to be very agile.
Yeah.
Are these like abilities, like her double jump? Is this stuff that you'll gain or learn as you progress through the game?
What's interesting, we've sort of gone back and forth about when to unlock them, and currently you get the ability to double jump and dash right off the bat. So you're able to be very agile, very quick right away, which I think is really fun.
Yeah.
And that's really what the gameplay as Jewel is all about, is very precise controls that are very reactive, but you also feel very fast, very powerful. She just feels really comfortable and fun to play.
What about this grappling hook?
Yes.
That looks really cool.
Yep. So that's called the extractor. It's different than a grappling hook. It extracts. But what it's designed to do is latch onto enemy cores and pull them out. So if you get an enemy's health down to a certain point, you can then latch onto their core and go into a little tug-of-war mode where you're fighting against them to rip their soul out and then make it your own, combine it with your own friends.
When you put it that way,
powerful soul. But yes, that's what the extractor does.
Yeah.
It pulls out the enemy cores.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we won't have to wait too long to finally find out what Recore is all about. So that release date is September
13th on Xbox One, Windows 10.
And there's an interesting pre-order incentive. You pre-order the game, you get Banjo-Kazooie
That's
Nuts and Bolts, right?
Which
is an awesome game.
Which is a great game.
Yeah, it's a really cool game. So awesome, cool. Thank you so much for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Recore. Looks very cool. Stay tuned. We've got many more games to show you here on IGN Live from E3 after this.